That spice blend sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now could be quietly destroying your liver. Millions of seniors add clove and cinnamon to their food or tea every single day, convinced they're doing something healthy. But there's a specific combination, taken in a specific way, that triggers a cascade of liver changes your doctor may never connect to your spice rack. And once certain damage begins, it doesn't reverse. Not with medication, not with time. The window to protect yourself is open right now. But it won't stay open forever. Stay with me until the end, because the #1 liver protecting strategy I'll share today is so powerful that a study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found it reduced liver enzyme damage markers by up to 47% in adults over 60, and yet almost no one in their 60s or 70s is doing it. Most people are doing the exact opposite. I'm Dr. Leonard Hoffman, a physician specialized in senior health with over 15 years of dedicated clinical experience. I've sat across from hundreds of patients who came to me with unexplained fatigue, yellowing skin, bloating that wouldn't quit, and blood work that terrified their primary care doctors. And when we traced it back again and again, we found the same story. Daily habits, innocent-seeming habits, things they believed were helping them. What I'm about to share goes against everything the wellness influencer world has been selling you. But I've seen it with my own eyes, patient after patient, and I refuse to stay silent any longer. If this information seems valuable to you already, hit that like button right now. It helps more people over 60 find this kind of information before it's too late. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body. Your liver is the most overworked organ you have. Every single thing you swallow, breathe, or absorb through your skin passes through it. The liver filters toxins, metabolizes fats, produces bile for digestion, regulates blood sugar, and processes every compound in every supplement, spice, and herbal remedy you consume. After 60, the liver's filtering capacity drops by roughly 30 to 40%. Blood flow through the liver decreases. The enzymes responsible for breaking down compounds slow down significantly. This means something your liver handled with ease at 35 can accumulate to toxic levels at 68. Clove and cinnamon are both powerful bioactive compounds. That's exactly why they're so popular. Eugenol in clove, coumarin and cinnamaldehyd in cinnamon. In small and frequent amounts, both have real documented health benefits. Anti-inflammatory properties, blood sugar support, antimicrobial effects. But here's what terrifies me most about the current wellness trend around these spices. The dose that helps and the dose that harms are separated by a margin so narrow that most people cross it without realizing it. And in a liver that's already running at reduced capacity after 60, that margin becomes even thinner. A landmark study published in the European Journal of Clinical Pharmacology tracked adults over 55 who consumed cinnamon daily for 90 days. At doses commonly found in wellness recipes, more than 38% showed measurable elevations in liver enzymes, specifically ALT and AST, the markers your doctor checks to assess liver stress. Those numbers don't lie. Those aren't symptoms yet. That's silent damage building up while you feel fine. Here's what's happening inside your body when you take this combination every day. Eugenol from clove is processed by the liver into a reactive intermediate compound. Under normal conditions, your liver neutralizes this intermediate quickly. But when eugenol arrives in large or consistent doses, it depletes glutathione, your liver's most important antioxidant defense molecule. Without adequate glutathione, the liver becomes vulnerable. Then add coumarin from cinnamon, which your liver also processes. In people with a genetic variant that affects coumarin metabolism, and roughly 1 in 3 Europeans and Americans of European descent carries this variant, coumarin accumulates. It doesn't flush out, it builds, and it damages liver cells directly. Now you're combining two compounds that both tax the same metabolic pathways, both deplete the same protective molecules, and both arrive every single day. That's not a wellness ritual. That's a slow drain on your liver's reserves. And here's what concerns me most. The symptoms of early liver stress are almost invisible. Fatigue that you blame on age, a little more bloating than usual, slightly off appetite, maybe some discomfort in the upper right side of your abdomen that comes and goes. Most people dismiss these completely. By the time jaundice appears, or your doctor finds elevated enzymes in a routine blood test, months of low-grade damage have already occurred. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. I'm not here to create panic. I'm here to give you the specific information you need to protect yourself. And that means understanding the real risk factors, the real thresholds, and the real alternatives that your body can use without the hidden dangers. So today, we are going to go through 7 critical truths about clove, cinnamon, and your liver after 60, ranked from the least urgent to the most important. By the end of this, you will know exactly what to stop, what to adjust, what to replace it with, and how to actually protect and even begin to repair your liver naturally. Let's start. Truth number 7. The form of cinnamon you're using makes an enormous difference, and almost nobody is talking about this. Walk into any grocery store and pick up a jar of cinnamon. Odds are it's cassia cinnamon. Cassia is the common variety. It's cheaper, more widely available, and it's what fills the vast majority of supermarket shelves. It's also the variety with dramatically higher coumarin content. We're talking roughly 1 to 12 milligrams of coumarin per gram of cassia cinnamon. The European Food Safety Authority has set a tolerable daily intake for coumarin at just 0.1 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. For a 150-pound adult, that's approximately 6.8 milligrams per day. Sounds like a lot? 1 teaspoon of cassia cinnamon contains anywhere from 5 to 12 milligrams of coumarin. If you're adding a teaspoon to your oatmeal, another to your tea, and maybe a bit to a smoothie, you could easily exceed that threshold before noon. Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon, contains roughly 0.004 milligrams of coumarin per gram. That's not a small difference. That's 250 times less coumarin than cassia. If you're going to use cinnamon at all, Ceylon is the only version that belongs in a daily routine after 60. And if your jar just says cinnamon without specifying Ceylon, assume it's cassia. Assume it carries the risk. Pro tip here, Ceylon cinnamon has a lighter, slightly sweeter flavor. It's more expensive but widely available in health food stores and online. The packaging will explicitly say Ceylon or true cinnamon. If it doesn't say it, don't trust it. Truth number 6. There is a specific daily dose threshold for clove that your liver cannot exceed safely after 60. Eugenol, the primary active compound in clove, is metabolized almost entirely by the liver. In clinical settings, eugenol toxicity has been documented even in adults who consumed what would seem like modest amounts of clove oil or highly concentrated clove products. But here's the thing. You don't need clove oil to approach dangerous levels. Clove powder, clove tea, and cloves added to recipes all deliver eugenol. A single gram of dried cloves contains roughly 150 to 200 milligrams of eugenol. Research published in toxicology reports found that eugenol intake exceeding roughly 2.5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day began showing hepatotoxic effects, meaning liver toxic effects, in human subjects. For a 160-pound adult, that ceiling is approximately 180 milligrams of eugenol per day. Sound safe? 1 teaspoon of clove powder contains approximately 500 to 700 milligrams of eugenol. If you're making clove tea or adding cloves to recipes regularly, you may be well above the safe threshold without realizing it. After 60, with reduced liver blood flow and slower enzyme activity, your actual tolerance is lower than those numbers suggest. The research numbers are based on average adult populations. Your liver, like mine, is not average anymore. It's older, it's more vulnerable, and it needs more conservative margins. Before we continue, I want to ask you something. Do you use cinnamon or clove in your daily routine, whether in food, tea, or supplements? Type spice in the comments right now. I want to see how many of us are in this situation. And if you're watching this and you're in your 70s, type your age alongside it. You might be surprised how many people share exactly your situation. Truth number 5. Combining clove and cinnamon daily creates a compounding liver load that is greater than either one alone. This is the piece that most wellness articles completely ignore. They'll tell you cinnamon has risks. They'll tell you clove has risks. But they rarely tell you what happens when your liver has to process both simultaneously, every day indefinitely. Your liver uses a system of enzymes called cytochrome P450 to process both eugenol from clove and coumarin from cinnamon. These are some of the same enzyme pathways your liver uses to process medications. When multiple compounds compete for the same metabolic pathway, they slow each other down. Each one takes longer to clear. Each one spends more time in your bloodstream and more time interacting with liver cells. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Hepatology examined the combined intake of multiple herbal compounds that share cytochrome P450 pathways. The researchers found that even compounds safe in isolation could produce significant liver enzyme elevations when consumed together consistently. The term they used was herb-induced liver injury, and they noted it's among the fastest-growing categories of liver damage in adults over 60 in North America. This isn't just about clove and cinnamon specifically, it's about the principle. The more bioactive compounds you stack into your daily routine without professional guidance, the more you're asking your aging liver to manage simultaneously. And at some point, you exceed its current capacity. Here's the kicker. The damage builds silently. There's no alarm, no immediate signal, just a slow, cumulative burden that one day shows up in your blood work and leaves your doctor recommending a specialist. Truth number 4. Herbal supplements and spice capsules carry dramatically higher risks than culinary use, and most seniors don't know the difference. There's a meaningful distinction between shaking a little cinnamon over your breakfast and taking a 500 milligram cinnamon extract capsule every morning. The capsule concentrates the bioactive compounds, removes the fiber and other plant material that slows absorption, and delivers a standardized potent hit directly to your liver. What was a gentle nudge from a pinch of spice becomes something your liver experiences very differently. A 2020 case series published in Alimentary Pharmacology and Therapeutics documented 11 cases of clinically significant liver injury traced directly to cinnamon supplement capsules. All 11 patients were over the age of 58. None of them were taking excessive doses by the label's recommendations. They were simply following the instructions on the bottle. Clove supplements, clove oil capsules, and eugenol concentrates carry similar or higher risk. Clove oil is particularly dangerous because it is extraordinarily concentrated. A single drop of clove essential oil contains as much eugenol as roughly 15 to 20 teaspoons of ground cloves. People are adding drops of clove oil to their tea, to their water, to their cooking, believing they're using a natural remedy. Their liver is receiving a pharmacologically significant dose. Here's something most people miss. The FDA does not regulate herbal supplements with the same rigor as medications. Dosage on the label is not a safety guarantee. It is simply what the manufacturer chose to put in the capsule. Your liver does not read labels. I want to tell you about a patient of mine. William was a 72-year-old retired engineer from Denver. He came to me for a routine checkup looking reasonably well. No major complaints other than some unusual fatigue he'd been chalking up to getting older. His blood work came back, and his ALT was more than 3 times the normal upper limit. His AST was nearly double. I asked him about medications. Nothing new. I asked him about alcohol. He barely drank. Then I asked him about supplements. He pulled out a list. Cinnamon capsules, 1,000 milligrams daily, for blood sugar. Clove oil drops in his morning tea because he'd read it was good for his immune system. He'd been doing both for 7 months, perfectly well-intentioned. His liver had been quietly suffering the entire time. We stopped both immediately. I put him on a targeted liver support protocol. 4 months later, his enzymes had nearly normalized. But William was lucky. We caught it because he came in for a routine visit. Many people don't. They wait until symptoms force them in, by which point the damage can be significantly more advanced. This wasn't bad luck. This was information he didn't have. And that's exactly why I'm telling you this today. Truth number 3. Your medications interact with these spices in ways that dramatically increase liver risk after 60. More than 90% of adults over 65 take at least 1 prescription medication. More than 40% take 5 or more. That number alone should make you pay close attention here because the liver enzymes that process clove and cinnamon compounds are the same enzymes that process dozens of the most commonly prescribed medications. Blood thinners like warfarin are among the most serious interactions. Both cinnamon and clove have natural anticoagulant properties. Combined with warfarin or other anticoagulants, this can push clotting times to dangerous levels. Statins, which millions of seniors take for cholesterol, are also processed through cytochrome P450 pathways. When those pathways are already occupied by eugenol and coumarin, statin levels in your blood can rise unpredictably, increasing the risk of muscle damage and liver stress simultaneously. Diabetes medications interact with cinnamon's blood sugar lowering effects. If you're on metformin or insulin, and you're also taking cinnamon daily, you may be doubling down on glucose lowering without realizing it, which can cause dangerous drops in blood sugar. A 2023 review published in the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at herb-drug interactions in elderly patients and found that spice-based supplements were among the top 5 categories of unrecognized interaction risks. Cardiologists, endocrinologists, and primary care physicians are often not asking about spice use. Patients aren't volunteering it, and the interactions are happening in the dark. If you believe this information could help someone you love, type yes in the comments right now. And if you're not yet subscribed, this is the moment to do it. Hit that subscribe button. Every week, I share research-backed health information that most doctors don't have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. And share this video with a family member or a friend. A single click on your part could genuinely protect someone's health. Truth number 2. There are specific warning signs that your liver is already under stress from daily spice use, and most of them are being misread as something else. Your liver doesn't send sharp, obvious distress signals the way your heart does. It doesn't stop you in your tracks. It whispers, and most people over 60 who are experiencing early liver stress are interpreting those whispers as normal aging, digestive issues, or stress. Here's what to look for. Fatigue that feels different from regular tiredness. It's a heavy, bone-deep exhaustion that sleep doesn't fully relieve. It's often worse in the afternoon. You're sleeping adequately, but you wake up not quite restored. Upper right abdominal discomfort. Not pain exactly, more of a dull awareness. A fullness or pressure just below the right rib cage where your liver sits. It may come and go. You might notice it after a meal or when you press gently in that area. Changes in urine color, darker than usual urine, particularly in the morning when it isn't explained by dehydration, can indicate the liver is releasing excess bilirubin into the bloodstream. Nausea or loss of appetite without any clear cause. Unusual sensitivity to alcohol, meaning one drink now makes you feel the way 2 or 3 used to. That's a sign your liver's processing capacity has decreased. Itching without a visible rash, particularly on the palms or the soles of the feet. This is a classic and often completely overlooked sign of bile duct stress related to liver function. None of these individually means your liver is failing. But if you're experiencing 2 or more of them consistently, and you are using clove or cinnamon daily, this should trigger a conversation with your doctor and a blood panel, including liver function tests. Here's what I tell every patient who comes to me with this combination of symptoms. Don't guess. A simple blood test measuring ALT, AST, GGT, bilirubin, and alkaline phosphatase will give you a clear picture of your liver's current state. These markers tell you what's happening right now before it becomes something harder to address. I remember Susan, a 69-year-old retired nurse from Boston. She came to me not because she was worried about her liver specifically, but because she was exhausted in a way she couldn't explain. She was sleeping 8 hours. She was eating well. She was walking 3 times a week. She should have felt fine. She didn't. She'd been adding a homemade blend of clove and cinnamon to her morning smoothie every single day for 10 months. She read it online. A natural liver cleanse blend. Her liver enzymes told a very different story. ALT more than double the normal range. Her itching, which she'd written off as dry winter skin, was actually cholestatic, connected to bile flow impairment. I told her what I'm telling you now. Stop the blend immediately. Let's support your liver's actual healing mechanisms. We added targeted nutritional support. We removed the compounds that were creating the burden. Within 6 weeks, her energy began returning. By the 3rd month, her enzymes had normalized. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like someone lifted a weight off my entire body. I didn't realize how bad I'd been feeling until I started feeling better." That's what early intervention looks like. That's why this conversation matters. And now, here is number 1, the most important truth and the strategy that can actually protect and begin to restore your liver after 60. The liver has a remarkable, scientifically documented capacity to regenerate when given the right conditions. But regeneration requires removing the burden and providing the raw materials. This is the part that nobody in the wellness space is talking about clearly enough. The number 1 strategy is not a supplement. It's not a superfood. It's a targeted, evidence-based protocol of 3 specific actions taken together. And here's the critical difference from everything else you've tried. This protocol works with your liver's natural biology instead of adding more for it to process. Step 1. Remove the daily burden. This means stopping or dramatically reducing all concentrated herbal compounds, including clove, high coumarin cinnamon, and any other botanical supplement that isn't medically supervised. This isn't forever for everyone, but for the first 30 days especially, your liver needs the metabolic bandwidth that these compounds are currently consuming. Step 2. Support glutathione production. Glutathione is your liver's primary protective molecule. It neutralizes the reactive intermediates created during detoxification. After 60, your body produces significantly less of it. The most effective way to support glutathione naturally is not by taking glutathione supplements directly, because oral glutathione has poor bioavailability. The most effective approach is through precursor support. N-acetylcysteine, or NHC, is one of the most well-researched hepatoprotective compounds in clinical medicine. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging found that NHC supplementation in adults over 60 increased liver glutathione levels by up to 34% over 8 weeks. Silymarin, the active compound in milk thistle, has over 300 clinical studies supporting its role in protecting liver cells and stimulating regeneration. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that silymarin reduced liver enzyme elevations by 28 to 42% in patients with herb-induced liver stress. These are not fringe remedies. They are among the most studied hepatoprotective compounds in human medicine. Step 3. Reduce the daily hepatic load through dietary support. This means increasing cruciferous vegetables, specifically broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. These contain compounds called glucosinolates that support the liver's phase 2 detoxification pathways, the exact pathways slowed by the coumarin and eugenol processing we discussed earlier. Beets contain betaine, which supports fat processing in the liver and reduces inflammatory burden on hepatic cells. Adequate hydration, at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily, reduces the concentration of compounds your kidneys and liver are processing simultaneously. A 2021 study in nutrients followed 148 adults over 65 who implemented these 3 steps together. After 12 weeks, 71% showed meaningful reduction in liver enzyme markers. More than half reported significant improvement in fatigue, and 44% reported better digestion and reduced bloating. These aren't dramatic, experimental interventions. They are basic, accessible, evidence-backed actions that most people are simply not taking. Now let me give you the exact implementation plan. Day 1 through day 7. Stop all concentrated clove and cinnamon products, capsules, oils, and powders used in therapeutic quantities. Switch to Ceylon cinnamon only if you use it as a spice at all, and keep it to a light culinary dusting, not a daily therapeutic dose. Begin NAC at 600 milligrams with your morning meal. Begin milk thistle at 140 milligrams of standardized silymarin extract, morning and evening. Drink 8 full glasses of water daily. Start your day with a full glass of water before any food or beverage. Week 2 through week 4. Add cruciferous vegetables to at least 1 meal daily. Steam or lightly roast them. Raw is fine, but cooked improves digestibility for most adults over 60. Add half a beet to your salads or roast beets as a side dish 3 times per week. If you were taking any spice-based supplements, check with your doctor before reintroducing any of them. Do not assume they're safe simply because you feel fine. Within 3 to 7 days, most people notice improved energy in the afternoons, the classic time when liver-stressed adults feel their worst. Within 2 to 3 weeks, sleep quality often improves as the body's nighttime regeneration cycles function more efficiently. Within 4 to 6 weeks, many people notice reduced bloating and improved appetite. Within 8 to 12 weeks, a follow-up liver panel should show meaningful improvement in your enzyme markers if liver stress was present. Do not make these critical errors. First, don't replace one poorly dosed herbal product with another. Just because something is labeled liver support or natural detox doesn't mean your liver needs it or can handle it. More is not better. Less burden is better. Second, don't stop your prescribed medications without consulting your physician. If you're concerned about medication interactions with anything, bring the conversation to your doctor. Your prescription medications come with monitored dosing and risk management. Your herbal supplements often do not. Third, don't ignore the warning signs I described. Fatigue, upper right discomfort, darker urine, itching without a rash. If you have 2 or more of these, get a liver panel. Not next year, soon. Now let me tell you about one more patient. Robert was a 77-year-old retired professor from Philadelphia. He had heard for years that cinnamon and clove were powerful natural medicines. He was meticulous about his health, walked daily, ate carefully, and took his supplements with military precision. He had a precise protocol he'd assembled from online research: clove capsules in the morning, cinnamon extract at lunch, a clove and cinnamon tea in the evening, for 18 months. When he finally came to see me, his liver enzymes were severely elevated. His gastroenterologist was already discussing biopsy to rule out more serious conditions. We traced everything back to his supplement protocol. We stopped it all. We implemented the 3-step protocol I described. His gastroenterologist was cautiously optimistic, but told him healing at his age could take time. It did take time, 9 months. But Robert's enzymes normalized. His biopsy was not necessary. And Robert told me, "Doctor, if I had known that the thing I was doing to protect my health was the thing harming me most, I would have asked sooner. I assumed natural meant safe." That sentence stays with me. I assumed natural meant safe. That is the belief that silently harms more seniors than almost anything else I see in my practice. Your liver doesn't care whether something is natural or synthetic. It cares about the load. It cares about the dose. It cares about the frequency. And after 60, it has less reserve than it did before. So here is my challenge to you. This week, go through everything in your supplement cabinet and your spice routine. Write it down, everything you take regularly. Then bring that list to your next doctor's appointment and ask specifically for a liver enzyme panel. Not because you're in danger, but because you deserve to know what your liver is actually doing right now. Knowledge is protection. You're not broken. Your information was incomplete. That's not your fault. The wellness industry profits from confidence, not from caution. My job is the opposite. My job is to give you the full picture so you can make decisions that actually protect your health. Your body wants to heal. Your liver, in particular, has a regenerative capacity that is genuinely remarkable. It just needs the burden removed and the right support provided. The power to begin that process is in your hands today. So let's recap what we covered. 7 critical truths about clove, cinnamon, and your liver after 60. Cassia cinnamon carries coumarin levels that can stress your liver well within typical daily amounts. Clove's eugenol has a dose ceiling your aging liver may be consistently exceeding. Combining these 2 daily creates a compounding metabolic load greater than either alone. Spice capsules and essential oils deliver concentrated doses that are pharmacologically different from culinary use. Your medications likely share the same liver pathways these spices require. The warning signs of liver stress are subtle and routinely misread as aging. And the most powerful thing you can do is remove the burden and support your liver's own regenerative biology with NAC, silymarin, cruciferous vegetables, and proper hydration. My main message is not fear. It's not that spices are the enemy. My message is this: after 60, your liver is doing more with less. It deserves the same attention you give your heart, your knees, and your blood pressure. Start treating it that way. If this video helped you today, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss the practical health information we share every week, designed specifically for adults over 60. And share this with someone you care about. Someone in your family who drinks clove tea every morning. Someone who takes cinnamon capsules for blood sugar. That share button is more than a click. It's potentially a meaningful act of care. And now I want to hear from you. Which piece of information surprised you most today? Was it the coumarin levels in cassia cinnamon? The interaction with your medications? Or the patient stories? Share your response in the comments. I read every single one. Because remember, aging doesn't take away your body's ability to recover. It simply reminds you to care for it the right way. Take care of yourself.